I mentioned in the last video about the huge buildings in Sumeria, and obviously they built other buildings in all over the place, and they did also build Stonehenge and things like that. And the reason why they done that is because they actually took power from the earth, its resonance. I know it sounds really far-fetched, but it actually works true. The best person to explain all of this in a lot better detail than I can in these short videos is a guy called Michael Tellinger. He is fantastic and he explains it so clearly, how they use the earth's resonance to actually create these power grids. So basically the stone statues that and carvings all create what he calls a circuit board around the earth, which obviously we have these ley lines, which makes sense as well. And I'll cover the levitation part of this in the next video. So now we know what the stone structures around the world are for. How did they actually build the stone structures? So it all's to do with the Anunnaki holding this little device in his hand, if you can see there. I'll try and show you a clearer picture here. This is a carving. Yes, they did put heads on. I'll explain that in another video. So it's got tiny little ridges on it. Michael Tellinger will explain how the sound resonance actually works with these. He's done a fantastic job. But basically, it's to do with anti-gravity, and you know they all worship the scarab beetle, and that's because the scarab beetle actually had its wings were anti-gravity. So have a watch of this. Look at that. And that's genuine. That was a guy doing tests. So it's all to do with the sound levitation frequencies. I just thought I'd carry on with the levitation, so people seem to be very intrigued by this. So the underneath of a scarab beetle, which was worshipped way back, the underneath of the wings have got these tiny millions of these little tiny cones, and these cones are what produce the sound wave. So just like acoustic levitation here, where there's a sound wave that he's got two sound waves there, one pushing up and one pushing down. So these little polystyrene balls are held directly in between the two sound waves. But like you would with a spray gun, if you point that into a point like the cone, you can get a lot more power to it, and that's exactly what the wings do. Monks used to resonate sound with their voices to actually levitate. Just carrying on from the levitation, people really are interested in this. So there was a gentleman many years back called Victor, and I won't pronounce his surname, and he allegedly made a hoverboard using the scarab wings. Now, to move blocks, you need to have a certain type of block, and the pyramids use limestone, and limestone has quartz in it. Quartz has a resonance frequency which is ideal for it to be manipulated and moved. Now, there was a guy called Edward Lee Scullin. He was about 5 foot something, and on his own he created a place called Coral Castle in America. Now, he said that he had the secrets on how they built the pyramids. So the speculation is that he used some sort of sound devices, and some people have said that they saw him levitating these blocks into place, and these blocks were massive. So just moving on from the levitation, so the Anunnaki had spaceships above Earth which would take the gold back to their own planet. Now, some of the Anunnaki came backwards and forwards to Earth, and they were called angels. Well, we called them angels, but really that actually means messenger. So some of these messengers would come down, and they would actually have relationships with our Earth women, which are the Homo sapiens sapiens, which the Anunnaki helped create as a hybrid, which is us. Now, these angels or messengers that had relationships shouldn't have done. The Anunnaki kept their bloodline absolutely as pure as possible, but when they did, the women had babies, and the babies were classed or called as the Nephilim. Now, these were giants, and there is remnants of giants with giant skulls, but the Smithsonian Institute actually gets the giants and destroys them. They do not want us to know about these giants.